her making a phone call using cellular phone came to surface. Suddenly, government said, and of course there's evidence of it in the form of interviews, recorded interviews. Suddenly, government said, "Oh no! She didn't use cellular phone. She used the backrest phone of the airplane."
Yes, the back phone of the aircraft.
Yes. German researchers checked beyond reasonable doubt. This particular airplane had no backrest telephones.
Didn't she also speak to her husband, though, a few minutes before by cell phone?
Well, since prevailing evidence is stopping that there's no way, physical way, that cellular phone would work on such heights. It was impossible, physically impossible. Government changed its mind, and they said that it was this backrest phone, but they didn't check that this particular airplane didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have those phones.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, any evidence of existence of any box cutters should be removed and forgotten. You see, that's where we're standing. So box cutters, I don't think we cannot even, talk about it.
Yeah, well, I remember hearing that on other planes they did find some taped to the seats. So I'm not going to forget about it because I've dealt with my perpetrators. I call them airline gang stalkers, and I know there's people inside there working against our government that do work for the airlines. I'm never gonna forget. I know what I've been through, and my rapist are pilots, among other people. So I live right by O'Hare Midway Airport, and I know they're over. I know who they are, and I know what they've said about this country, and I'm not going to forget it because I know what's going on like you do, and it's a bad situation.
Yes, and the main root of the problem is always this issue of check and balances. Nobody checks, nobody balances. This should be done by general public because we are supposedly the people who run this country. It's a big lie. Of course, it's a big lie. Since our medias don't inform us about anything, they constantly lie. They create, artificial reality for us. Therefore, we are absolutely unable to rule this country, to control this country, to choose the right rulers, to do anything. And that's where this is the root of the problem. So if we cannot fix that, which is basically us, we will fail.
Well, Andrew, I'm out of time, and I'd like to thank you for being on the show. You've been very informative. The listeners are probably going to love your interview. Very informative. And also, if you want to check out my story, because you did mention 9/11, if you want to go to myspace.com/airline gang stalkers.
Okay.
myspace.com/airline gang stalkers. You'll see my story on there, and it does involve airline pilots. And I think I'm sharing it with you because you've touched on something that I'm very strong about, and I agree with you on the 9/11 issue. Andrew, is there anything left or anything else that you would like to say before we close?
No, I just wanted to thank you very much for having me on your show. If I can help you with anything, let me know. Call me if you need any advice or any contact in San Diego area. Christy, who lives there, lives here.
I just interviewed her. Her interview will come up probably next month.
Yeah, there's another something happened with my phone. So, thank you on your show, and if you can put link to my documentation on your website, I would appreciate it. And
I will do that, Andrew. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Sure. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thursdays on the Edge. if just one person becomes inspired by one line of free thought that is not of their own creation, and that one person goes on to inspire others with their own lines of free thought, and those others create inspirations for future generations, then inspired those generations will become. An inspired generation fashions the tools to create an inspired world. When you look upon the sadness in this world and despair at the enormity of what lies before, a hopelessness befalls you, a solution a closed door. Yet just one inspired thought, aimed at another, can open a path for future sister and brother. The spark of my mind was ignited by others who were fired up by the minds of those who came before them. An inspirational pyre that is as old as humanity, yet is as new as the most distant part of humanity's future. It is an inspirational wildfire that ignites each heart and mind it touches, with each mind stoking the inspirational flame, a common ground of cooperation, unseen, unnoticed, yet as powerful as the fire within our sun. You and I can add the fuel to keep the flame alight for generations to come. Welcome back. I'm Andy Radford in the Edges UK studio for the Edges Thursday show. And that wraps up the show for this week. I would like to thank Edge correspondents Mike Eastwood, C.M. Leslie, Gina Romano and her guest. Don't forget to tune in to Daniel Ott's live show this Saturday night, the 5th of April, which starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Daniel is talking to paranormal consultant Rick Hayes. Before I go, let me just remind you how you can become involved with the Edges Thursday show. Now, just under the main media player on our homepage at www.theedgeam.com, you will see the link here, and just click this and information will appear in front of your computer screens. And if you want to become a voluntary Edge correspondent under that same media player, just look for the link. We are looking for Edge correspondents. My name is Andy Radford, your host for the Edges Thursday show here in the Edges UK studio. Thank you very much indeed for listening. Goodbye.
Have been listening to The Edge. To subscribe to The Edge newsletter, log on to theedgeam.com. That's theedgeam.com, where you can find out more about the guests and topics discussed on the air. The Edge is being brought to you by Internet Solutions, home of affordable website design and low-cost internet access. Visit Internet Solutions at es4.com. That's es4.com. Until next week, for the Edge Radio broadcast, I'm Chris Moore. See you on the Edge.